Buy me. Oh, wait. Buy me. Buy me. Yeah, no. What? It's the same thing! Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay reseller based in Melbourne, Australia. Let's talk delist, relist. Stop it. It's not gonna work, and you don't know that it actually works, and whenever it does work,
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
telling people that it works is not cool. That's the summary. But here's why though. You don't actually know when someone buys an item that it's because you delisted and relisted. And then obviously there are those who say, well, if you sell similar, then the item number will change and therefore it will be a new listing and you'll fool eBay into ranking it as new. Even if you can fool eBay, you can't fool buyers. Now, there's only one example when this will work, and I'm going to tell you why I think that is the only example that it works. See if you can agree with me. And I hope you do agree with me. And the reason why I'm passionate about this is because there are so many things for us to do in our eBay businesses that if we waste our time doing things that we think will lead to something and it actually doesn't, or we cannot prove it, do the things that are more proven instead, at least on principle. Here's what I mean by on principle. If I have an item with 4 photos and I make it 8 photos and the item sells faster, I can at least attribute that on principle, more photos increases buyer confidence, therefore increasing my chances of a sale. If I list my prices at X amount of dollars, let's say I always do 20% above retail, and then I take a best offer of 20%, or I just do retail, take a best offer of 10%. By lowering the price and taking the best offer, it goes from retail to now a potential deal. If my items sell faster, at least I know that on principle. I can never verify it because, hey, it could have been a buyer that just happened to come along, did not understand that the price has gone down. Could be a buyer that didn't understand that I had 4 photos before and now only saw 8. But on principle, we can agree that lowering prices, more visibility, those things lead to an increase in buyer confidence, a lowering of buyer barrier, and they will more likely buy. Delisting and relisting assumes that both the algorithm and the buyer are stupid, and we both know that doing that in any business does not help you. If the number of times that I've had Christmas dinners and people look forward to Boxing Day and they're talking about, oh, tomorrow who's going to go to the shops, who's going to go, and are you going to go to this shopping center, that shopping center? And part of that conversation usually involves, oh, where are you going to buy stuff? Which places are you going to look for? And every year, every year I will hear somebody say something like this. I went there was already a sale last week for 30% off, but I feel like they've already raised the prices so they can drop it by 50%. But last time we went there, it felt like it was only 20% cheaper. Buyers know, and buyers remember, because pricing isn't just about anchoring. Anchoring meaning I see a price, I minus a percentage, I'm convinced because I see the minusing of the percentage. Doesn't work that way. Everybody has a range. We've talked about this in previous videos. Pricing is also about range. If pricing goes above or below the range, because once again, we always say if it goes below the range, it's a steal. Not necessarily. I use the example of avocados. If avocados cost between $2 and $5 a avocado, 5 being when there's a flood or whatever and they can't do it, or it's winter and they can't grow it, and $2 being when it's like the cheapest, when it's everywhere, maybe goes to $1. If you go into Coles and you see avocados at 50 cents each, you don't just go, shit, I'm gonna buy it all. No, you go, is the price right? Do I take it to the counter and hope that it still checks out? Do I ask a manager what's wrong with them? It makes the buyer stop to think. You don't want pricing like that. You want pricing that makes them buy quickly. So for example, $2, maybe $1.95, $1.80, avocados will sell. $5, avocados won't sell unless you absolutely need an avocado. So needs-based pricing, I'll still pay the toll because I need it. 2, I will want it, I will pay the $2. 50 cents, I'm suspicious. $8, I'm like, piss off, right? So there's a range. So when you think about delist and relist, it's kind of like that. It's not about, buyers know that the item is the same item. They don't need, you cannot just list, like, take it down, put it back up again and go, haha, got you. Doesn't work that way. Some of you don't even know how many listings are competing with your listing when somebody searches for your item. Like, I've seen delist, relist in some of my categories, and it's funny because if I'm a buyer looking for that particular character in a particular toy, there are like 4 listings. So if I'm somebody who has saved that search, that search hasn't updated. I don't care how often you delist and relist, the photos are the same. So unless you change the photos fundamentally, heck, change your photographic style. Like I've seen some listings where the photos have changed, the pricing hasn't changed. The item's the same item. I know the seller's name by heart by now because it's an item that I've saved and I retain that information. Give buyers at least the benefit of the doubt that they can retain that kind of information. Think about how much information you retain in your head as a reseller. You know, you go out to op shops and you know that brand, this model, this particular variant of this particular item. Like, if you can do that, and you're no Einstein, some of you are, I'm no Einstein, the amount of information about toys in my head that I will never use again if I don't do reselling ever blows my mind. Buyers, I believe, have that too. It's just human to remember things. So respect your buyers. That's probably the first bit, right? Don't assume that they're dumb. And come on, it's $1 billion algorithm on eBay. Like, it's not going to be fooled that easily. So my conclusion, therefore, is that if you delist and relist and an item happens to sell, 2 reasons. You're either competing in very heavy, like competitive categories. iPhone cases always comes to mind because when you type in iPhone case, you can type in like 20 words and you still end up with like thousands of listings, right? So maybe then the sell similar, not the delist relist, that's delist and then sell similar with the new item number. Maybe that new listing boost may help a lazy buyer pick your item. In which case, it's really just luck. Because then by tomorrow, if that buyer wasn't there to buy your item, you wouldn't have sold it. Or maybe it would have sold anyways because it's such a heavily turned over category that even if you didn't delist and sell similar, that buyer would have come along the next day anyways. You don't know, and there's no on principle thing to help you understand that. So whenever I read posts about people going, by the way, is it a delist sell similar or delist relist? Like, which one was it that helps us get sales? None of them do. They don't. You can't prove it. You can only say that I did it and it worked. But if someone else does it and it doesn't work, it's not a thing. It's luck. It happens to only be your thing. And maybe if you do it again, it might work, it might not work, but that's the point. If you don't know whether it can or can't work because there's no proof or consistency, it's not a thing and it shouldn't be something you build a business upon. More photos, on the other hand, lead to more sales. They lead to better quality of sales. Things that people don't track as much. If you take more photos, why don't you track your return rate? You'll find that actually goes down. If you lower your prices consistently and you take significant best offers, for example, most people don't bat an eyelid at 5%. But if you start doing 20% off, 25% off, track how many people actually take up your offers. And you'll find that, oh my gosh, when I do something that is worth doing on principle, I see results. Track those things instead. Put your time and effort into those things. And please, 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 stop trying to find a hack. eBay, for the most part, is a hackless platform. Because eBay really is just a place for you to interface with the rest of the world. You are just a small seller. Most of us are. If you're watching this video, you're a small seller. And by small, I mean you don't have a big box store with several warehouses and trucks moving all around, right? You're not Nike that happens to sell on eBay. You're not Target that happens to sell on eBay. You're a small seller who finds stock as you do one person, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5 people, right? Maybe you do anywhere from 100K a year to maybe a couple $1 million a year. You are still relatively small in the grand scheme of eBay. So your best bet to getting sales is to know your searches in detail. And by that I mean, if you sell t-shirts, if you sell books, to know who you actually compete against, to be accurate in how you comp and how you price, to lean on that experience, and you'll find that your items will move faster than your need to delist, relist. So there. Sounded a bit ranty, but it felt like it needed to be said. Focus on things that build your business, the things you can rely upon. You don't want to be sipping coffee one morning and get a bit of a panic attack because, oh my gosh, my business is based on luck. You're screwed from that point on because you don't know where to go from there. Nobody wants that feeling. You want to know exactly why you are doing well. And you don't want a hack to be in that conversation. Build your business on things that are not fleeting and things that don't just last for a short amount of time. Have a method to the madness so that you can actually sleep well at night and be proud of what you've built. And hopefully, in the future, teach somebody how to do it as well, passing it forward. Until next video, take care, happy reselling, focus on the things that make your business great. Bye.